Hey friends, Randy Flickinger here again today with another story I wanted to share with you. You remember the story in the Bible about the golden calf? You remember it was in Exodus 32, and Moses is leading the Israelite people. I'll give you a little history here. He's leading the people to the promised land. They've escaped Egypt. Moses has led them through the Red Sea. There's 2.5 to 3 million of them. They're grumping and growling because, gosh, they're having to eat manna every day. That God was creating food for them and making sure they were taken care of. But God, it got old eating the same food all the time. And you know how people are. You give them anything, and there's a reason they want to cry. So Moses is leading them, and he goes up on the mountain to talk to God. Okay. God's giving him the 10 Commandments. He's putting them into the tablets that he's going to carry down, and there are 10 of them. And while he's there, God says the Israelites are a stubborn and a stiff-necked people. I've decided I need to destroy them, punish them. And Moses says, why? And he said, well, because right now they are worshiping other gods. And Moses says, well, now, wait a minute. That's not your style. You are forgiving God. That is your nature to love us and to forgive us, just as it is to punish us for wrongdoing. And so God relents, and he sends Moses back down. Well, what is happening, what Moses didn't know, is the Israelite people had came to Aaron, Moses' brother, and said, hey, we don't know where Moses went. That guy that led us out, we're not sure where he's at. But we need a God to follow. And so would you create a golden calf? Make us one. You're an artist. You're a sculptor. Make us a golden calf, and we'll worship him, and we'll give it credit for bringing us out of Egypt. See a mistake there? Holy cow. God brought them out as his chosen people. And yet they were willing to quickly forget about that and start worshiping a golden man-made calf. Well, so you can imagine, when Moses got down, saw what was going on, he was very unhappy, furious, understood why God was so unhappy, threw the tablets at the Israelites, which, by the way, he got punished for and never got to go to the promised land because of his sin and anger, but recognized what was going on, how quickly we forget. So let me ask you a question. What is the golden calf in your life? If I built a golden calf right now and I said, hey, everybody, let's just worship this golden calf. Most of you'd say, oh, no, wait a minute, Randy, I know better than that. That's not a good thing. I'm not worshiping any golden calf. And I'm going to ask you, what is the golden calf in your life then? Because we would recognize it in that form. But what do we have in our lives that we don't recognize as becoming more important than God? I will tell you my story, just small example. I work hard, love to work, always have, worked 3-4 jobs many times, just some of them part-time. But one of the things I just started doing with the advent of Robinhood, Webull, those type of easy access, zero, no charge brokerages, I started a Robinhood account. And I started out with a small amount of money, $300-400. At one point was, I thought, a big amount. And what would happen is I would day trade and I would make money and I would pray, God guide me, help me to be successful with what I'm doing here. He doesn't tell you, hey, buy Apple or you need to sell today, that type of thing. Well, I just made some pretty good money on a few stocks that I bought. And I was debating, do I need to sell them, take the profit, or do I wait till tomorrow because it's probably going to go up some more? I prayed about it. He distinctly tells me, Randy, hang on to it. So I did. Guess what happened the next day? Yeah, the market plummeted, and all the money I'd made was gone. Well, I'm a little upset. So I literally talk to him. I pray. I say, God, what's going on here? And you know what I hear? Randy, you weren't listening to me in some other areas of your life. I wanted to see if you would listen to me on something like this because it's become way too important to you. And you just showed me that was a golden calf, that you would listen on that, but not in other areas where you know what I want. What is it in your life that is leading you astray? It could be money. It could be people. It could be fame. It could be your fantasy football team. It could be a multitude of things, but they take us away from God and what he wants. And that's not a good thing. And as it shows, he gets angry with it. All I'm going to tell you is work hard towards being honest with yourself about this. Because the whole key to growing as a Christian is being honest with ourselves. If you and I can't be honest, because God knows the truth, by the way, you're not surprising him. You can't confess to God and him go, oh my God, I didn't know Tim was doing that. What was Susie thinking? He already knows. So be honest with yourself. What is it in my life that I now value more than God and my relationship with him? And if you don't think technology like our phones and those type of things can take over, it can also include sin, different pornography, different things that get into our lives that take over our minds and our souls and our bodies. And those are all golden calves that God would say, no. And if you remember in the Ten Commandments, he says, do not put any gods before me. Notice the word gods with an S. There's only one living God, him. But there are many, many things that you and I can create gods out of. And he was warning us, don't do it. Listen, be honest with yourself, and let's make a change.